appreciate you staying this late in the evening. Today I'm going to be talking to you about, I'm going to be talking about digital transformation, right? But it's about getting the emphasis right. So I'm here representing Gepetto.co. I'm a co-founder. We specialize in training where digital meets business, but more about that later. I'm going to get to what you're here for, which is hearing about digital transformation. The agenda of what I'm going to cover very quickly is I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my own experience with transformation. My name is Dermot Bradfield. You'll find me on Twitter, you'll find me on LinkedIn, various other different places as well. Then I'm going to talk about who you are, potentially. Some definitions, that would be the boring stuff, we'll get that over with very quickly. And then I'm going to talk about where the emphasis should be with regards to digital transformation. Where the challenges lie, and there are many. And finally, I'm going to give you some steps that you can take. No, they're brief steps, but steps that you can take to improve transformation in your own organisation, or lives for that matter. And finally, I'll open for any questions at the end. So myself, my own journey, as I say, I'm on Twitter and I'm on LinkedIn. Feel free to connect there. I'm from Cork originally. We're legally obliged to say that. Any Cork person has to state that they're from Cork before they go any further. The first transformation I witnessed was when I was in college. I was an 18-year-old in college in the mid-90s, and something changed in the world quite dramatically. And I felt it was going to transform the way business was going to take place for the rest of my life. And that was what? What was that big transformation in the mid-90s? What was that? Sorry? The internet. Yes, the internet. The internet was transforming business even then in the mid-90s. We had Eason's, for example, their biggest competitor would have been Waterstones in this country until the mid-90s, and all of a sudden, pretty much overnight, they had a huge competitor from America, which was Amazon. So that was my own experience firsthand of a transformation, and I was really enthused by it. I was really excited about it. But of course, I had nothing to lose. I was a student, I didn't have a career, I didn't have a job that was under threat by this new transformation. I was a student, nothing to lose. So I was enthused, I was excited, and that was my perspective. My background in digital is varied. 13 years in financial IT and 8 years as a lecturer in National College of Ireland. So who are you? You're quite likely one of these people. I'm going to generalize very much because there's a lot of people in the room. But you could be a techie. You could be someone who's #LoveTech, right? And if you're here today, there's a good chance that that's you. You may be a busy. I've come up with that term myself, trademarked by myself. It's a busy. You're a busy business person who owns business, manages business, working hard in business. You could be one of those. And of course, the busy requires a lot of technology to get the job done, okay? But they're busy at heart. And third, you could be lost and confused. Now, if you're lost and confused, you're likely to use the hashtag like that in the first place. But don't worry, you're not alone. But if you're here today, you're probably not lost and confused because, well, one, you found the RDS, but two, you found this event, which is an opportunity for you to learn more about digital and what it can mean for your business. So some definitions. Very quickly, what is digital? Well, if you need to know that definition, I think at this stage, 3 o'clock on the day of the event, I think you've missed too much of the day, so I'm not going to give you that definition. But I'm going to give you a definition of transformation, and it's a very simple one, and it's taken straight from the dictionary. It's a marked change in form, nature, or appearance. A marked change in form. So it's not necessarily putting lipstick on, it's a marked change in everything that you are. This long definition, which I'm not going to read, but it's a really good definition for my school. The point I want to bring you to here is how late in that entire paragraph it is before you see the word digital. Now, digital transformation, two words that sit side by side, yet when we look at a definition, it's more about models, it's about processes, activities in an organisation, I would say culture as well. But actually digital is very late in the equation. And I want you to bear that in mind as I move through what I'm about to talk to you. So this comes to where the emphasis should be. So for the techie, if you're the techie who, as we said, #LoveTech, They see the word digital. When they see digital transformation, they see digital. They see all the ways digital can transform their business. They look at it like I looked at the internet when I was 18 years of age in the mid-90s, when I said, you know what, this can transform industry, I want to be part of it. Okay? They see the potential of digital to transform the world that they live in, and they're looking forward in time to the changes, and they're also looking forward to the changes themselves. And that's how techies, I think, view this. I'm generalizing quite a lot here, but I'm making the point nonetheless. Secondly, if you're the busy, which as I say is trademarked by myself, they only see the word digital as well in the word digital transformation, but they see it from a different dimension. They don't see it in the same way as a techie for sure. What they see is how it can disrupt their business, the risk to their business, to their security, to their livelihood. They see, they look back as well, rather than looking forward. They see how technology has disrupted them in the past and how it has caused a negative effect to their business, either by increasing competition, Amazon versus eSIMs, for example, or increasing complexity in their business or cost. Again, I'm generalizing. But I'm generalizing so that I can make a point. And that point is that digital transformation is about transformation first. And transformation is not easy. Techies need to look at how business can transform through the use of digital, not the other way around. Not how digital can transform business. And that's an important distinction. And in the next slide, in the next couple of slides, I'm going to cover that. But if they don't, if they look at it from the other viewpoint, which is that, digital can, using digital can help to transform businesses. If we take that approach, we end up with thousands and thousands of web developers creating websites for businesses that aren't practical, that aren't bringing in any customers or any new clients. And guess what? That's what we have today. Many of the business owners I speak to about their online platforms, their websites, or their e-businesses, I ask the same question. How many new leads do you get from your online presence every year, every month? And the vast majority of them say to me, I don't know. And if you don't know, it's none. Okay? Quite simply, it's none. Because they've had websites built for them by, web designers that they've paid a couple of €100 to a couple of €1,000 to. They've outsourced the function to someone else, and they say, build me a platform. It doesn't work like that. That's the other way of thinking. Digital is not the solution. I promised that I would say something controversial today, and there it is. Digital is not the solution to your problems here. The solution is transformation in itself. So, you've heard that. I've made that point. The emphasis is on transformation, right? So that's quite simple. Wrong. It's not easy. Transformation isn't easy. And it's very, very difficult, in fact. There's a great talk on a TED talk by a chap called Sir Ken Robinson that I encourage you to look at, where he talks about how skills kill creativity in children. That from the age of about 7, we fear failure. And that is a big problem when it comes to transformation, because transformation is change. Change is risk, and risk can often equal failure. And we often shirk it, we avoid it. Transformation is risky. Transformation is unknown, unproven, untested, uncertain. Transformation takes effort. It takes thinking outside the box. It takes courage. Transformation is an emotional journey, and very often it hits on the negative emotions. So people hate change. People resist change. Is that true? Would you agree with that statement? Well, there's another great TED talk that I'd encourage you to look at. Jason Clark, and he looks at how we actually embrace change as human beings. He makes the argument that humans love change. How many people here have changed their hairstyle in the last 2 months? Thank you. Yes, good. A lot of you have. How many people here are wearing a new top today, or a new shirt, or a new pair of shoes? Yeah, lots of you have. We like new things. We change all the time. If we don't like change, then you better ring the last hotel you stayed at to tell them you're going to stay there forevermore. Go to that same location, that holiday that you went to last year, you're going to the same one forevermore. No, we love change. Humans love change. So he argues that because we love change, It's actually, what we don't like is phony change. Real change, not phony change, that is offered, not forced upon us, but that is brought to us as an option. And it's cultural throughout the organisation. It's in how we live and we breathe. That's how change works. That's how transformation works. Fake change that is imposed upon us and it's structural doesn't work. That's rearranging the deck chairs on a sinking Titanic. So I've put together a 3-step model for what I see as transformation, digital transformation. It's based on another great writer, John Potter, who put together an 8-step process for leading change. And I've taken his model and I've condensed it somewhat, and I've made it more suited for digital transformation. And it involves 3 simple steps. Well, they're simple when you read them. They're not so simple when you get down to the nuts and bolts. The first one is creating a climate in your organisation for the transformation. The second then is enabling that transformation to take place. And the third and final step is implementing the transformation. Now, it's only in the final step that digital comes into play. The first 2 steps are really deep-seated in the organisation, cultural, structural changes, deep-rooted changes that need to be made first.